society means where people live together. A society has its culture established over the years, meaning to say that every society will have, each society will have their own culture. The festivals, rituals and social activities reveal the culture of a society. These societies will have their own festivals, their own rituals, the different way they are celebrating. The social activities, all these things reveal the culture of the society. As I have told you earlier, when I went to Bihar, the people there, their celebrations are entirely different. And their dances are very much pleasing. They will be just shaking their bodies, but it will be a real good step. In the way they receive the people, when the people go to their houses, they will do like this. If they are doing like that, we have to do like this. And sometimes they will be pouring water on our leg. Sometimes they will be having the water in their mouth and they will just slip it on our face. These are things according to their customs. That is how they make themselves happy. And for their tribal areas, they will have their own god and goddesses. And they will be having their own celebrations. Now, just to take a Holi, when we are celebrating Holi, it is a kind of using colors. But when we consider Deepavali, it is a festival of lights. So, Onam, when we take, it's a festival of flowers, harvest. So, different festivals in different areas. When Kerala celebrates Onam, Tamil Nadu people celebrate Pongal. Celebrations depends on the culture of the people. Here is a beautiful description of a Pooram, a representative festival of Kerala. In Kerala, Poorams are very much famous. What do things come to your mind when we hear the very word Pooram? You will have the ideas of the temples, churches, and elephant will be there, people selling different items, and sometimes there will be playthings. So, meaning to say that the celebrations will be according to the custom and the culture. This shows an aspect of its culture. So, before we could come to the story or the matter, the part on our Villagepooram, let's now listen to the author Anita Nair. It will be shared by Anne Avery.
Hi all, I am Anne Avery, who is a 7th standard student of St.Teresa's CGHSS Ernakulam. Today, I am here to tell you the profile of Anita Nair. Anita Nair, who was born in Shannur in the state of Kerala on January 26, 1966. She is an Indian novelist who made her mark by not conforming to the prevalent trends in Indian English literature. She was educated at NSS College, Ottapalam and Virginia Center of Culture, USA. She started her writing journey when she was working in an advertisement agency as a creative head. She published a collection of short stories that made her famous and helped her to receive a fellowship from Virginia Center. That innocent changed her life and she turned to be a full-time novelist. And then we all know how famous Anida Nair became as a novelist in Indian as well as abroad. She has written novels, poems and children's books on myths. Her major works are The Better Man, Cut Like Bond, Eating Snaps, Idris, Chain of Custody, Who Let Nono Out, Living Next Door to Alice, Musa and Baby Jan, etc. Keep her off the light.
Let's come to the part of Villagepooram. In it, you will be learning some colloquial words. Malayalam words also are there. Mountains of bananas. And in this, we can say that you are learning the group of things. Now here, mountains of bananas. Hillocks of paddy. Paddy is expressed as hillocks of paddy. Yards of jasmine. Yards of jasmine, you just imagine the field full of jasmine. Rows of glinting glass bangles. Glass bangles earlier, when we were small, in all the festivals we could see that people are selling these bangles. Nowadays we can't see all those things because time passes and modernization has crept into our life, and most often now people are not using such things. Shimmery satin ribbons in rainbow hues. Shimmery satin ribbons. See the words those are used here. Find out from the dictionary, get the correct real meaning and add with your glossaries. Trinkets, toys. The call of the vendors, people will be calling out 10 rupees, 20 rupees, come on, they'll be calling. The mouth-watering aroma of muruk. Have you heard of muruk? It is a Malayalam word used here. Muruk. I think that is your mother, your parents will make it and fry it in the oven. Muruk. The beat of the drums. Here you could see many things, you could hear many things, you could touch many things. See, when you are reading, you should feel that you are in the Pooram celebration place. Okay? The stamp of feet, the people are walking. The acrid smell of gunpowder. Here, that gunpowder smell, you know that during the temple celebration and all, there will be crackers, even the Pooram time, and that gunpowder smell will be there. The heat, very hot it will be. The dust, because people will be passing up and down. This is the lore of the Pooram. This is the ground. This is it, the Pooram place. And it is to feel this memory that I go home again and again to the Pooram at the Muttasikal. To see this Pooram, every year I go to my Muttasikal, I go to my house. That meaning to say that the person here writing is not now in the village area, because she has to come to the village to celebrate this or to enjoy this Pooram. In the old house we wait anxiously. A heap of paddy in the para. That is also a Malayalam word there. In the para they will keep all the paddies. And a little bronze lamp is kept ready. A lamp also will be kept ready. Bronze lamp will be kept ready. As the distant throb of drums, distant throb means it's far. From far, when they hear the throb of drums sound comes closer. The children scamper down the mango trees and rush to hide behind the adults. Meaning to say that sometimes the little ones will be so scared. When you were small, when the elephant will be moving through the wayside, you will be so scared that you will hide behind your home, or you will be crying aloud. And even during the Christmas, when the Christmas Papa comes, Santa Claus comes, you will be getting scared when you were little ones. So here the children scamper down the mango trees rush to hide behind the adults. Till that they will be on the mango trees. They will be watching around and they will be playing. And when they hear the sound, they will come down faster and hide behind the adults. The great creeks opened the Tira and Pooram, sauntered in with a jangling and clanging that would awaken even the dead. Because when the Pooram comes to the houses, they will be making a lot of noise. There will be drums and chenda and so on. So all these sounds make them, they say that even the dead will come out of the grave. That is the expression used here. I feel the familiar feel of dread wash over me as the grotesque masks come closer. See, during the temple festivals, people will be keeping masks. Means they become different goddesses. So let's watch now certain grotesque masks. Usually they come in the night. So looking at it, the people will be so scared. When the evening shadow comes, then they move with this procession. And you will be watching that during the Villagepooram, and there will be many fancy dresses like this, goddesses and so on. The Tira and Pooram are symbolic representations of goddesses. They become the Tira and Pooram. Tira and Pooram are the nightmares or the goddesses, okay, who visit each home to chase away the evil spirit and bless the family. What's their belief? By coming, when this Tira and Pooram or the goddesses come to the house, they mean that so that from the houses the evil spirits will be chased away, so the families will be blessed. The drummers begin to beat their chendas, cymbals, clash, and the Tira and Pooram began to dance. This Tira and Pooram, hearing the sound of chenda, cymbal and clash, and all, they begin to dance. With the vigor of supernatural beings, they twist and turn, gyrate and twirl, raising clouds of dust with their swirling feet. Meaning to say that while they are dancing, too much of dust comes. There will be full of swirling. When they stop abruptly, suddenly they will be stopping all the chendas, clash and cymbals or dance, everything together. There is an re-silence. Re-silence means very silent it will be. Until once again the drums come alive with a pagan rhythm. Until the sound means when they begin again to this drum and chenda and cymbals and so on. Then we can say that great silence I will be saying. Do you remember while we were taking the class in 6th standard, the boy who went to see the river, when he reached there certain places, they will say, the author has written, it was the silence, the heavenly silence, the divine silence. So there was a great silence. So same way that silence is mentioned here. In the olden days, measures of paddy were given as an offering of thanks. Earlier, like a barter system, no? People didn't have so much of money with them. So they were giving this grains as or the paddy as an offering. But now, today, it is money. So here there are two questions. What makes the Pooram attractive? There are so many things written here. Why do children hide behind the adults? What do the Tira and Pooram represent? We have seen even that. The Pooram tucks the cash into the sash at his waist. Our grandmas, Christian grandmas used to wear the chatta and they will have a kind of part there to keep the money there. Even your parents who are wearing lungi, they will be keeping the money there, especially in the village area. So we can say that this Pooram also, he took the cash and tucks the cash house to announce the coming of the Pooram. After that, after getting the money, they will be moving to the next house. Like Santa Claus, when it comes, they will be playing dance. They will be putting the music or they will be singing. And after that, when we give the money, they will stop the play and they will start to the next house. The Pooram ground sees the blossoming of many art forms, be it classical, folk or contemporary. Different varieties of art forms will be there. Classical art forms, folk, it can be dances or most probably it will be dance, this part of dance. And it can be contemporary, means according to the locality level. From Kathakali to Carnatic vocal concerns to mimicry to ballad, which is the local term for the musical performance involving many costumes, songs and dancing with a thin plot line woven to hold it all together. What does the author convey the message here? Because she just wanted to give an idea about the Pooram ground, what is there, the art forms those that are there in the Pooram ground. Artists are invited from all parts of Kerala, and each year the temple committee tries to outwit the previous committee's performance. For the temple celebrations, they will be keeping drama, they will be keeping Kathakali, or they will be keeping Ganamela. In different ways, they will be performing the programs. So what they do? They just wanted to defeat or outwit the previous committee. It is the day of the Kalavela. Kalavela means that is also a Malayalam word. One of the typical sights of a North Kerala temple Pooram is the Kala. Made of straw, built around the bamboo frame and dressed ostentatiously with sequins, mirrors and brilliant colors. Each pair is created to outshine the rest. Meaning to say that they will be decorating this Kala and they will be bringing them, and that is a competition. So people will be decorating with the mirrors, colors, sequins and so on. More than 25 to 30 Kalas come from various villages and wait at Kala Param, auction ground it is called. So all the Kala will be, this auction will be brought together. We walk around each pair examining it and we walk. When we stop to admire one pair, the group responsible for it preens in delight. For the moment they have scored a victory over the rest. And then starts the pyrotechnics. Rows of iron cylinders were kept on the ground filled with gunpowder, that means the crackers. And as one is lit, the spark from it sets the other one off. Meaning to say that if they give fire to one crack, then soon the fire will be moving to the other and there will be a stream of crackers. The explosions rock the ground, fill your ears and rock within your heart. Sometimes when it is bursting, that sound as though it will be bursting from our heart, we feel that much of sound will be there. And by the time you recover from it, the drums begin their thunderous music. When one is over, the next one will begin. For once each of us is lost in individual words, we will be just lost in our individual words. We won't think anything about any situations. The older folk remember Poorams from the past and as always compare this one to those in their memories. Now further enriched by age. Because when they see the Poorams, the present Pooram, they will be saying about the Pooram that they had in their early age, early time. So it is an extract from a Villagepooram by Untitled. There are certain questions. Find out the words that describe the movement of the Tira and Pooram. What are the many art forms which one can find in the Pooram ground? Answer in your own words. You have seen many art forms in the Pooram ground explained by Anita Nair, and you will be now able to write. Describe Kalavela in your words. Kalavela it is called. How does the writer describe the effect of the pyrotechnics? How do the old people view Poorams? Let's now learn some grammar part. There are several expressions in a Villagepooram associated with sights, that is the visual, sound, that is the auditory, Classify them as shown below. In the first paragraph it says about what all things we can see, that is the visual, and what all things we can hear, that is the auditory. So visual is a mountain of bananas. The first paragraph it says mountains of bananas, hillocks of paddy, all those things are visual things. Now auditory means what you could hear. Drummers beating their chendas. So now go through the part once again and find out which are the auditory that is mentioned in the story. Now describe in your own words the various sights and sounds you have noticed in a marketplace or a school. So you have to now reflect over the sounds and the things that you can see in the school or in the market. It is up to you. According to your taste you can write. Collect pictures, stills on festivals. Write a short description of each picture. That means you have to paste it in your notebook to then write the description about it. Then present a picture show of festivals during multimedia. So instead of this I am giving you, because it will be an eye-opener for others, you can now put the video on different festivals. Sometimes in the festivals you might have also presented your programs. You can add those videos. Example, Akshaya performed a dance during their temple festival. So she will be able to put the videos of the Pooram and she can also add the dance or the singing, anything that we have performed. Read the line, came the boys like a flock of sheep from the poem Somebody's Mother. Here also the word flock stands for a group. So here mountains of banana, when we say that is also a group. So find the other words. Read the following passage and identify such words. Once there was a custom in a university. If a professor was late by 10 minutes, the class was suspended. If the professor is coming late, 10 minutes if he is late, that meaning to say that the class is dispersed. The class is suspended. One day, a professor arrived early for a 9 a.m. class. He could see only a stack of chairs. Stack of chairs. See, here another word is used. He had a pile of books with him. Now another word, pile of books. He wanted to take them to the library. He kept his bunch of keys. Another grouping word. On the table and walked to the library. By the time he got back to the class, it was 9:10. He came early. At that time when he came, he could only see the chairs. Isn't it? It is given here stack of chairs. Thinking that he is before time, he took the piles of books and he went to the library. But returned only at 9:10, 10 minutes late. The room was empty because he is late. The next day, he told his students, when my keys are here, I am here. If you see the bunch of key here kept, that means you think that I am here. He kept the keys in the chest of drawers, and walked down the flight of steps. The following day, he arrived at 9. He saw 28 keys on the desks. Now, did you understand what the keys we meant there? The students, what did they do? Because the lecturer said that if he keep the bunch of key there, it meaning to say that he is there. So what did the students do? When he came to the class, he could see many bunches of keys there. He saw 28 keys on the desk and no students. So expression words that refer to a group, you know that. So a bunch of keys. So what are so many words are given for the group now? So find out and then write it. Fill in the blanks using appropriate words from those given in the box. In the box it is given flight, pack, group, team, bunch, club, gang, stack, regiment, bevy, banquet, bouquet. So all those words are you can connect it here. A dash of ladies, what it will do? A dash of players, a dash of steps. So kindly go through the activity. Fine. Meaning to say that you have to hunt the meaning in the dictionary so that you will know where it is suiting. So the word which is suiting to this, or the word that is suitable for the grouping, you can add there. Look at the underlined words in the following expressions. The call of the vendors, the beat of drums, the stamp of feet, all these are auditory. Hearing what we can hear. These words represent different kinds of sounds. The gate creaks open. The gate creaks open means the old gates will have the sound when it is very old. What do these words refer to? What are the other sounds that you are familiar with? Make a list of such sounds. Now you have to write sounds that makes you understand the things better. So read Villagepooram once again and find out the words referred to sound. Second one, find out the meaning of the following words from the dictionary and fill in the boxes. So creak, the meaning is given here: short, high-pitched sound heard when something moves. Example, door, stairs. Again, another thing is rustle, soft sounds made when things like paper rustle. We heard a rustle sound when our Polia was about to stitch, mend the shirt, sleeves, so she could get one envelope from iron pocket. There it was given this rustle. So find out the other words, jingle, splash, click and so on. Find out from the dictionary and write the meaning in it. Read the following sentences from the story, The Wooden Cup. Suddenly a child went over to the fireplace where his mother had swept the pieces of the cup. Sweeping is an everyday action. Every day mother sweep, or you sweep the ground or the floor. What are some of the everyday actions that you do? So you will be doing certain activities now. List them. Wash the clothes, cleaning the courtyard, folding the clothes. So find out and write. Imagine that your mother goes out when you are not at home. She leaves the following instructions for you. Fill in the blanks, choosing the appropriate words from the box. The box it is given: beat, tidy, make, wash, scrub, dust, clean out, empty, change, cook. Meaning to say that you should know the meanings of these words, then you will be able to write, fill in the blanks. Dear son or daughter, I am going out and will be back only in the evening. Here are the jobs for the day. Dash the floor. What will be that? Dash the carpet. Imagine or find out the meaning. Dash the furniture. Dash the bed. Dash the sheets. Dash the house. Dash the rubbish. Dash the supper. Dash the laundry. And dash the fireplace. So find out from the box and then write. Dear ones, today we are learning simple present form. Simple present form, easy to think that if you add one s there with the base verb, it is simple present. Jump, jumps, run, runs, eat, eats, sing, sings, laugh, laughs. Okay. Read the sentence: the Pooram ground sees the blossoming of many art forms. The Villagepooram. What does the word sees suggest here? The Pooram ground sees. We need to say that what the Pooram ground represents there. Now read the following short poems. There are two poems here. From this you have to find out the simple present form. The fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbour and city, all silent, houches, and then moves on. Okay, Carol Sandburg's one poem. The eagle. He claps the crag with crooked hands, close to the sun in lonely lands, ringed with the azure world he stands. The wrinkles beneath him crowds. He watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt he falls. Say what the fog, the eagle and the sea do. See the action. With the action, that meaning to say the base verb. With that, if you add one s there, it is simple present. Fog comes. Eagle, find out. Sea, find out. What do the following words suggest? They suggest the general nature or habits of things, people in their movements, action that is. The words are all in the simple present form. Comes, claps, sits, prowls, moves, falls, watches, all these are simple present form. Now read the following passages. Passage 1. The sun rises very late in this part. People wake up very late. My next door neighbor wakes up very early. Usually he gets up before 6 a.m. Then he goes to the newsagents and buys the morning paper. Then he goes to the cafe, orders a cup of black coffee and reads the paper. After that he goes for a walk around the park and then returns home. So here, read the passage again and note how the verbs change when the subject is singular or plural. When it is singular or plural, when the subject changes, the verb also changes. It can become the singular or plural. Write your findings here. We use wake, that is a base, the root form, wake. With that we will add wakes. When the subject is plural and the wakes, yes, form, when the subject is singular. Singular when it is, we add there, yes. But when it is plural, it is only wake, the base is there. For the singular, we only say, here we add s. For the singular, we add s. But when it comes to the plural, it is only wake. That means it is plural here. Rewrite the passage 1 using the plural form in the place of neighbor and they in place of he. Makes necessary changes in the verb form. Now here, one example. The sun rises very late. This part. People wake up very late. People wake up. So here, they have asked that plural has to be in the form of singular. So you have to change everything there. When it comes to singular, it has to be added s. When it is plural, it is given here, then you will have to add there the base. Study the sentences given in passage 1 again and say whether they express habits of general, that means universal truth. Sun rises, that is the universal truth. Milk is white, that is universal truth. Universal means that is it. So here, then write habit or general truth in the column B. Add more sentences in column A and answers, comments in column B. Now here, the sun rises late in this part. That is a general truth. General, it is the truth. So it is called the general truth. There is no change. People wake up late. That depends, isn't it? So it is not a general truth. So what it will be? It is a habit. Again, he gets up before 6 a.m. If it is for him, if it is every day, then it is called him as general truth. But it is here says about a person's thing, so it will be habit. So you have to find the thing from this portion. Passage 2, here is a lady who talks about some of her habits. Now first we saw the general truth. Here comes the habit. I never wear churidar. I always use makeup when I go out. I never wear churidar means it is not a general truth. She moves on. It's a habit. I always use makeup. Okay? Goes out. I wear a hat when it is cold. That is also not a general truth because it changes when it is hot. She may not use it. I wear gloves only when I wash dishes. I usually wear glasses while driving and while watching television. I don't wear jeans very often. So these are the habits. Find out the verbs in the simple present and list them. You may have noted that the words always, never, usually, etc. help us to know that the actions are regular or habitual. Regular, whatever she does every day, permanently, we can say that it is a regular action. But it is a habit when she keeps it says about the hat when she keeps when it is cool. But when it is hot, she is not going to wear. So you have to find out which is habitual and which is regular. Such words are called adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency. The other words of such category are sometimes, generally, occasionally, often, hardly, ever, once a week or a year, etc.
Hello everyone, it's me, Nandana G. Krishna from St.Teresa CGHSS Ernakulam, studying in 7th standard. Now, let's have a look into the 7th activity of our textbook, page number 130. Activity 7. Now, read the first paragraph of the story, The Wooden Cup again. Here are a few sentences. Robertino loved his grandfather very much. They spent much time together. Robertino loved to sit on his grandfather's knee and listen. The sentences refer to some habits that they had in the past. The simple past form is used here. Now, let's read another passage from the same story. One night at dinner, grandfather left his cup to drink his coffee, but his poor old hands shook so much that the coffee spilled on the clean white tablecloth. Look at the words underlined. Do they suggest past habits? These words do not refer to past habit, but show what happened at a particular point of the time in the past. A. Pick out from the story, the wooden cup, the verbs that show habits and the verbs that show the things that happened at a specific point of the time in the past. Now, it's your turn to fill these two columns. Past habit and happened in the past. There is one example in each column. B. Look at the words lift and shook. What do you notice about them? How are they formed? C. Read the poem Somebody's Mother and the story The Wooden Cup once again and pick out the verbs in the past. Classify them as regular verbs or irregular verbs. I know that now you all are familiar with regular verbs and irregular verbs. Some verbs have D or ED or T in their past forms. They are called regular verbs. But some verbs have different ways for forming their past and past participles. They are irregular verbs. Now, find out the regular and irregular verbs from the poem Somebody's Mother and the story The Wooden Cup and fill in the columns. Now, the 8th activity from the textbook, page number 131. Here is a poem for you to sing. Fill in the blanks using the correct forms of words given in brackets. The little girl put on her coat. She picked up her heavy basket. She out of the cottage. Here in brackets it is given go. So we all know that the answer is went. So same way, find out the rest. Now the next page, page number 132. List the words used in the past and to rewrite the poem in the form of a story. Now you all know how to rewrite a poem into the form of a story.
Now, the 9th activity. What were your activities yesterday? Make a detailed diary entry and use the past forms. Activity 10. Complete the conversation using the correct forms of the verbs given below. The given verbs are get, work, graduate, look and plan. Now, it's your turn to fill the blanks. Now, I'll show you one example. Now, it's your turn to find the rest.
Activity 11. Read the following sentence from the story The Wooden Cup. I am making a wooden cup, answered Robertino. What idea do you get from the action make? Is the action complete or going on? Discuss in groups and write your findings here. You may have noted that the action is going on at the time of speaking. In such situations, the ing form of the verb is used along with am or is or are. I know that now we all are familiar with this. You all have learned it in the previous year, right? So now, write your findings. Now, the next page, page number 133. Read the following passage and identify the actions going on at the present time. John lives in Mumbai. He is working in a restaurant. He works 6 days a week. After work, he plays soccer or baseball with his sons. He tries to play every day, but sometimes he cannot. John's wife works too. She is working as a teacher. Their children are studying in her school, so she is very happy. Now it's your turn to identify the actions going on at the present time from the passage. Complete the table with sentences from the passage given above. Actions that are continuing and actions that happen regularly. One has done for you. So now it's your turn to find the balance. C. Think of a place where you would like to be. Close your eyes and imagine this place in great details. Now it's your turn to close your eyes and imagine. What are you doing? How is the weather? What do you see? Where are you sitting or standing? Who is with you? Now you may open your eyes. Now take a piece of paper and write a description of what you have just imagined. You may begin like this. I am sitting on a quiet bench. Now present it in your class group. Let your friends identify the sentences in the present continuous form. Now the 12th activity from our textbook, page number 134. Here is a diary entry of a girl describing the experience she had during her stay in Mumbai. There are some errors in it. Edit them. Before editing, I know that now you all are familiar with the diary entry, right? Yes. Now let's go through her diary entry. I am meeting a really interesting girl in my neighborhood cafe this morning. I was writing a letter to my mother and she asked me that language I was writing in. We ended up talking for about an hour. People in Mumbai were seeming very comfortable with each other. It seemed quite natural for two people to just started talking in a cafe. This is something that don't happen in my place. I thought I would never start chatting with a stranger. I see that it's easy to meet new people here. Now it's your turn to edit this passage. Activity 13. Read the sentence given below. What are you making, Robertino? Asked his mother fondly. What are the other ways of asking the same question? Discuss and write. We have all learned the same thing in the previous years, so it will be very easy for you to find these answers. Let me give you an example. Robertino, would you please tell me what you are making? So, in the same way, you can find. I know you all can find it. Now, read the imaginary conversation between Robertino and his grandfather and identify different ways of asking questions. Robertino, could you please tell me a story, Grandpa? Grandpa, I should be interested to know what story you would like to hear. Robertino, can you tell me why angels live in heaven? Grandpa, have you got any idea about what angels do for us? Robertino, I'm afraid I don't know anything about it. Grandpa, if you like, I could tell you a story about it. Robertino, thank you very much, Grandpa. So, you may have noticed that each utterance in the above conversation serves a function. Discuss. Now, complete the table given below. Function and utterance. Now, the next page, page number 135. Here are a few situations. How can you ask for information? Use the expressions given in the box. So let me read the situations. At the reception table in a company office. The second one, at the railway information desk. Third one, when you are not sure who has the information about bus timings. And the last, at the bank. Now, use the expressions in the box. I know you all are familiar with it, right? I'm quite sure. Now, let's think about organizing a documentary show in your school. Collect pictures and document visuals related to various cultural activities like festivals, celebrations, etc. Prepare a note on the visuals. Conduct a formal program, preparing notices and inviting guests. I'm sure that you all will do all the activities.